Okay, so this is another day building our AI agent for inbound leads, and we're actually going to test out our tool that generates personalized emails. The last thing that I did was just to build this prompt over here before we were testing out these two other prompts to see what kind of acknowledgements and compliments we could spot using the information that we had from before. Now I want to see what we can actually write using that information, like what type of emails we can write using that information. So for a quick context, I ran the tools from before, the extract and summarize LinkedIn profile, and then the get company profile from LinkedIn to generate our inputs for this tool over here. And here we're going to include the background of the person over here. And I used this for a lead that came in a few weeks ago. Well, not necessarily a lead, but someone that requested the templates a few weeks ago. And under company summary, let's put his company there as well. And under company name, we're going to select the company name as well. And I want to run the tool just to see what kind of output we get. I am using the GPT model, even though before I was using the Anthropic model. We're going to test both and see what we can get. So let's run the tool. Okay, so we have an email here drafted. I want to see what it says. Thank you for downloading the AI automation templates. I actually should have given some more information on the subject line. I actually don't need a subject line right here, but I will include it at some point. Okay, this is actually, I don't love this. I'm reading the first paragraph over here, and the two-step process that we created to figure out what to compliment someone on, it just looks horrible. Like, thank you for downloading the templates. I wanted to personally reach out because I took a look at your background and noticed your progression from blank. Like, ugh, it just sounds so inhuman. I hate this. I'm gonna run the tool again with the exact same inputs just to see if the outputs stay the same. It should, but sometimes you get like these one-offs. But that was a horrible acknowledgement. Way too specific, no, it just doesn't look like it was written by a human. I don't like that at all. Okay, I'm gonna add one line on each prompt just by saying keep the acknowledgements simple but unique. They can't go over 20 words. Just because the last one that it had was like really long and really specific. Like I saw that you progressed from VP of blah, 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 blah to blah, blah, blah. Way too specific. Not really something a human would say. So I want to keep it simple. Maybe this is just like a horrible example then. It's actually this tool that's giving me shit outputs. I don't understand. Okay, I see. Like, this is, if I was doing this manually, like the first thing that pops up on the scraping the profile is like 500 million worth of deals completed, building the best communities in Florida. Like, and that's not even in our output. I don't understand why. So I'm changing the tool because I am not happy with the output that it came up with. And we're gonna run it because, okay, here's the key issue, right? The tool that we were trying to run, this tool over here, it doesn't come up with a good compliment. And as soon as I popped up, like as soon as I checked the person's profile, I know exactly what I would say, right? So for example, here on his about portion, there's only one sentence: 500 million worth of deals completed. That's such a good thing to compliment someone on. Like, hey, I saw that you have 500 million worth of deals completed. That's amazing. That's really impressive for just X amount of years in the industry, or something along those lines. And that's not even something that we include in our extracted portion. So with that being said, I changed the prompt that we had on a previous tool to, instead of summarize someone's LinkedIn profile, to just format the LinkedIn profile. Also, I don't actually want any I don't want our email to mention any roles that this person had that were like over a year ago. So I'm not sure how to ask to ignore that. Okay, actually, before I change anything about the experiences, let's try this instead. Go back to our tool from before that writes the email, and we're going to paste that new piece of information here to see if the output improves at all. Okay, see, like this is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you for downloading my AI automation templates. I took a look at your track record and noticed you've closed 500 million in Florida real estate deals. That's some serious deal flow you've built. That's like good. It's not great, but it's good. It's much better than our first output that was horrible. And then the question that follows up is, what strategies have you found most effective in navigating such competitive market? Now, that's a thing that I actually did wrong in the prompting. Here in this portion, I instruct to end the paragraph with another question, like include a question at the end of the section. And actually, I should have given more information. Okay, so a little bit of adapting in the prompt, just instructing a little bit more on this question to keep this better. So this is better. The question that I changed to, it says like, I took a look at your track record and noticed you've closed $500 million worth in Florida real estate deals. That's some serious deal flow you've built. With such high volume of transactions, how do you find time to balance all the moving parts and avoid getting buried in admin tasks? Well, this is a good question. The problem is that the sentence that comes right after that is like, by the way, do you know anyone who's buried in repetitive tasks or spending way too much time on admin? Like a little bit of too much repetition. So let's include a note. Okay, let's test this out. I added a new sentence saying the question can't mention the words repetitive tasks or admin. This should keep the question a little bit broader and at least avoid the repetition of words that we got before. Okay, this is good actually. It gave us the question, how do you find the time to balance all the moving parts in your business? Oh yeah, and then I forgot to include a note saying note, don't include a subject line. Just give me the email body. That's good. Let's run this like one more time to see if the question stays the same or if it changes. And then I'll change it to Anthropic to see what the difference is going to be. Oh, this is actually a little bit better. Took a look at so the acknowledgement and the compliment stays the same. So the question changes to, with such impressive momentum, I'm curious, how do you find the time to balance all the moving parts in your business? That's good. That's actually really good. Okay, let's change the model just to see what it's going to come up with. We're going to change this model here from GPT-4o Mini to Anthropic, and we're going to use, are we going to use Sonnet? We're going to use Sonnet. Let's just run Sonnet just to see what happens. It didn't change much the wording. So we're running it on Sonnet and it actually didn't change much the wording. It just added a new like thing. It kept the I'm curious, which I like, but also made the question longer, and I don't love that. Let's run it again. Same exact result. Interesting. Okay. For the sake of token usage here, I'm gonna keep OpenAI. I'm gonna publish the changes, and I'm actually like happy with these results so far. Now, one thing that I'm genuinely considering for the content of these emails is this portion over here where we're pretty much giving an offer. Like, I'm following Alex Hormozi's framework over here to pretty much invite someone to the sale, right? So I say, by the way, do you know anyone who's buried in repetitive tasks or spending way too much time on admin? I'm helping a small group of business owners save 100+ hours in their first 3 months by automating the time-sucking parts of their day without hiring and without changing what they're already doing. It works. I even guarantee we'll save them 100+ hours, or I'll keep working for free until we do. I'm just looking for a couple more people to use as case studies across different industries. Does anyone you like come to mind? So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this for the first email or if this is going to go to the second email or not. I wanted to change a bit the wording of the emails to say something along these lines over here. Where is it? So I actually wanted to like include a wording like this for the first email. Like, I noticed you grabbed my automation templates a little while ago. Hope they've been helpful. I know setting them up can raise some questions like these. So just in case, it's totally cool if you don't need this, but I put together a quick walkthrough of one of the most popular automations. So maybe this is actually a little bit better wording for the first email to be like, hey, I know this can raise a few questions, just in case, and it's totally cool if you don't need this, but feel free to hop on a call with me and I can set one up for you, or I can guide you how to set it up within 30 minutes and we can tailor it for your business specifically, something along those lines. But as of right now, since I promised myself that view 1 was just gonna automate the whole process and I don't wanna change too much, we're gonna go ahead, publish this tool, which I just did. And we're also going to update this tool, the extract and summarize LinkedIn profile over here, because I just didn't like how it was summarizing. I'd rather include just the formatting portion over here. So now our next steps is to actually include all of these tools in our agent and adapt the prompt. So if you've been following along, you will notice that all of our tools have the same name in our tool. So when we look for our tools and we type in Echo, we will see all of the tools that we've included that include the word Echo, which is the name of our agent. And this will make it much simpler for us to include the right tools over here. So let's start by the first one, extract and summarize website content, and then Google search, find leads LinkedIn, get recipient. Oh, actually this one, I added the incorrect one. We're gonna remove this one. We have a couple tools that we saved before that are for V2, and I don't necessarily want to include those right now. Go back to our tools, LinkedIn, Google search again, get company profile LinkedIn, get and summarize LinkedIn profile, and then these ones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools over here saved. They're all going to be selected in the auto run process. And I actually wanted to include a tool that is like draft an email or draft Gmail. No results. Let me see if I can find Gmail. Get Gmail content. So we have like send email via Gmail, but okay, I'll keep this one in there as well. And instead of using it on auto run, I'm going to say that it requires approval. And that's going to be pretty much it for right now. All right, now it's time for us to fix our prompts to include all of the tools that we want to use. So let's look at some changes that we're going to make. First, the step-by-step process says to use a tool to extract the domain from the email address, then to perform a Google search, then to fetch website data, get LinkedIn company profile, perform a Google search to get the LinkedIn profile. Okay, so when it comes to adapting our agent prompt, this kind of follows the structure that we want already, but there are a few different things that we want to move and take out. So the first step, for example, says to use a tool to extract the domain of the website from the email address. And I'm just going to say extract the domain from the email address. And then in brackets, I'll say the information that comes after at. Perform a Google search to find the company's website associated with the domain. We're actually going to skip this. We're going to delete this one and we're going to move everything else up. So we're going to use fetch website data to extract the content of the website. And here we're going to just reference the tools that we have. Actually, I need to use this. Tools and subagents. We're going to use this one. Use extract and summarize website content to extract content from a company website. Including, I'm going to just include this here, including social media links and description of services. I should go to that tool real quick and just see what the name of the output is. Oh, I also realized that I changed. This is the tool that I want to request approval. Actually want to go over here. I just want to change the name of the output from output to, we're going to call this company summary. So yeah, we're going to change the label of the name of the output because this, I'm pretty sure that the agent uses this to know what to include as inputs in the next few steps. So let's go back and include step number 2 or step number 3. Once we extract and summarize the information from the website, we could or could not have the information of the LinkedIn of the company. I'm gonna just note that I'm gonna assume that we do have it or that we don't have it because we already have the tool that searches for it. So I'm gonna say use, and then we're gonna use the name of the tool, which is called Google search, find company's LinkedIn profile to find the company's LinkedIn profile. And then number 4, we're gonna get LinkedIn company profile data. This is actually pretty accurate. So we're just going to replace that tool with the actual tool that we have. So this will be get company profile from LinkedIn to extract the content of the company's LinkedIn. Number 5, we're going to perform a Google search. Okay, we're going to replace this one with a new tool. I don't know why that's still there. Okay, there we go. So we're going to do the same step. Instead of finding the company profile, we're going to find the leads profile. And then from here, we're going to do the same, extract and summarize LinkedIn profile to extract the leads LinkedIn, and then use compose outreach email to draft a personalized follow-up to draft a personalized email. And then here I'm going to include some key pieces of information, which will be use the output for as company or company summary. Same thing goes, use the output for Okay, so we made some changes. We added every single tool that we're going to use for V1. And I also added this note down here asking the agent to use the output from the LinkedIn steps to as inputs in this new generate AC email. I'm also going to delete the rules to follow, because these rules, I believe they were AI generated, and these rules were more to do with the with how to actually write the email. We have everything in there. And from now, we're going to publish all the changes. And I'm actually going to test this tool out, meaning that I'm going to go to my YouTube channel and I'm going to give an email to myself to see what I can come up with. Okay, so I just submitted 2 entries to the AI automation templates for real emails. Actually, I'm not sure if these are real emails. I just took known companies. I took Relevance AI and Lululemon, and I picked people that actually work in those companies from LinkedIn by like manually searching them. So we're gonna run this twice, and this should actually trigger our agent. So there we go. The first person is triggering the agent right now, and I just got the email as well. And it triggered the agent twice. Awesome. This is exactly what we want to see. So when we go back to our agent, we'll see the last couple triggers and the new one. And it should take a few minutes for this to actually work. Okay, so for our first test, it looked like our first thing did not work. And I'm assuming that the same error should have occurred. Yeah, so our first step of the automation of this agent is not working. And I actually was double checking why. This is happening because we are extracting the website HTML. Like, we're looking at all of the HTML from a specific website and grabbing all of that information. But the problem is that the HTML code for these websites, it's too big, especially for Lululemon and Relevance AI. Like, if I just type in relevanceai.com, first thing that will pop up is this really long website, and everything like that we are trying to do is scrape this whole page. Same thing goes for Lululemon. I think I actually use lululemon.com for the example. And we should probably have like a really long, oh, this is not even a really long website, but nonetheless, we actually created problems here in our tool. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of scraping the HTML, we're gonna scrape the text of this tool instead of like scraping the HTML. And we were scraping the HTML in the previous step because we wanted to get social media links. So we're just gonna have to create that as a separate step in a different type of way that doesn't necessarily include this. So publish changes over here. And in terms of what it came up with, it looks like it ran everything correctly, coming up with the profile, finding the correct profile in LinkedIn. Here are the likely links for the profile of Jackie Ko, who's the founder of Relevance AI. And it looks like it got the correct information from Jackie Ko as well. And let's see the personalized email that it created for Jackie. Hi Jackie, thank you for downloading my AI automation templates. I took a look at your journey with Relevance AI and I was impressed by how you launched and scaled during the pandemic. Really nice thing to notice. That kind of resilience is rare. As a co-CEO, how do you find the time to balance all the demands of leading a growing company while navigating such a challenging landscape? By the way, do you know anyone who's buried in repetitive tasks or spending way too much time on admin? So this is pretty much the personalization that we were looking for. And obviously we're gonna like start testing these out. So from here on out, we would just approve or select the account to send this from, and it won't be this account because I need to use another one. But I like the first personalization of the email, especially this whole thing of like, I was impressed by how you launched and scaled during the pandemic. I'm not necessarily sure where it pulled that information from. Oh, here, most likely through here, that the duration was from March 2020 to present. So that's really interesting that it picked up on that. So for our Lululemon lead, the personalization that our system was able to come up with was I took a look at your journey at Lululemon and noticed your progression from manager to associate director. Your ability to consistently drive value in sports and culture is impressive. At that scale, how do you usually protect your time? And I actually do like this question, but I don't fully love the compliment that we gave. I feel like it's a little bit generic, but anyways, just a random lead that I picked out. I was actually really happy with the results, but I just noticed that this tool didn't run properly. And what happened was apparently it wasn't able to find Lululemon's LinkedIn. What happened? If I look up for Lululemon, and then I search up Lululemon LinkedIn, first thing that pops up is this, and let's see the URL. Exactly what I'm looking for. So that's really weird. I think the second time this tool ran, it actually didn't work that well because I was trying to rerun the first tool, and I think in that process I ruined the whole flow of information. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go back to make.com, choose where to start, and actually choose manually the Lululemon lead, which is this person over here. Select that, and then just trigger the agent again and see what happens. So we have the same person over here, and now we're going to try to extract the website content. Didn't work because I think even though we published the tool, we're getting the same error, which is really, I'm not sure if it fully published. The website is currently experiencing connectivity issues. Show full error. Okay, I think I need to publish this tool first, right? Do that. And then close. Also, I'm gonna have to go ahead and double check that tool entirely. I might need to remove this and then add it again. But it looks like it's working. It also looks like there isn't, it says that I cannot provide the URL, search for the results provided. This is so weird. So we have two tools to double check. I'm actually gonna go ahead and double check this tool over here. I thought that I explicitly said to include the thing. I see. This is probably one of the problems. I think that the problem was that I didn't specify this field properly. So we're gonna publish changes, and then we are actually going to go back to everything because we had the same problem from before. And this time it actually found the Lululemon's LinkedIn URL, which is really weird because I'm not sure how it even found that as an input. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, that's so interesting how the agent is more intelligent than we would like expect it to be, right? So it actually ran the tool to find the LinkedIn URL for Lululemon, but because the prompt for the search query for the tool wasn't properly stated, it couldn't find the actual LinkedIn URL. So the only search query that it ran was Lululemon. So it's the same thing as me doing this and searching Lululemon, and you would be able to like not find any LinkedIn URL, meaning that the tool wouldn't output anything. But as soon as it looked at the person profile, so it looked at Kira's profile, we were able to get the company that she works for. And this is obviously Lululemon. Now, using that information, the tool went back and looked for the company LinkedIn and grabbed the summary of the company based on LinkedIn. So let's see if it improved the ACA framework on the email. It says, I notice you've been leading the brand marketing operations across North America from Vancouver. Your ability to maintain consistent growth across multiple markets is impressive. With such a dynamic role, how do you find the time to balance all the moving parts on your projects? I think this is actually nice, just as good as the other one, or actually I think this is slightly better than the last one, and I like this a little bit more. So I'm actually really happy with what the agent was able to do. These emails are emails that are good enough for me to send. I would most likely change a thing or two before actually sending it. And obviously I'm testing out the new wording for this part over here to see if I can get some calls from these emails. But this is just a big test on my side of things as well. But in terms of the key component, which was this component over here of the personalization of the email, I'm happy with the results. So for V2, I want to make a few different changes. I want to add two tools. One tool that gives me some industry trends that we can probably reference in the follow-up sequence. Another tool that scrapes the LinkedIn posts, either the profile posts or the company profile posts. And then I also want to find a way to include a mini report on the lead to send to me via email. So ideally what's going to happen is that we're going to swap these steps over here. So we're going to unlink this and unlink this, and then do it like this from my system. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and save this. But instead of sending the email through make.com, we're going to send the email through Relevance AI. And the email is not only going to go to the lead, but also come to me with a little report of who just asked for your AI automation templates, pretty much. So that wraps up version 1 of our AI agent. Let's go ahead and take a look at version 2 on the next video.